y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Y'all already know what time it is. It's Thursday, so that means it's story time. So today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. It actually happened just recently. If you guys have been joining us for Vlogmas this year on the family channel, which I hope you are, you guys would remember a little mishap that happened while we were taking Ezra to go see Santa Claus for the first time. And so that's what this story is going to be about today. And I don't even want it to be like a story just to be a story. I just want to have like a conversation with y'all to see what y'all think about situations like this, because it's something that women go through like legit all their life. I feel like everybody has their own opinion about how to handle stuff like this, and I just wanted to see what you guys thought, because I handled it in the way that I thought was best in the moment. Now I'm kind of regretting how it was handled, so anyways, we'll talk about it in a second. But first of all, we're going to pick out a glamour shot, okay? Now, if you guys don't know about this and would like to have your chance to be featured as my Glamazon shot for the day, don't forget to use your hashtag Glamazon shot on either Twitter or Instagram. Either one will work. I just toggle back and forth depending on the day. So, today, the last time I checked on Twitter, this time I'm going to check on Instagram and I'm going to put in Glamazon shot. Oh my God. How beautiful are you? As usual, before we get into today's story time, today's glamour shot of the day is my gorgeous Glamazon. Her name is Rachel. She goes by Rachel's Fight on Instagram. She is so inspirational and so beautiful, and I'm so honored that you love to watch me and support me. Thank you so much, Rachel. You guys have no idea how much y'all's love and support means to me, and y'all know that I would not be here without you, and I could not do this without each and every one of you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now let's get into the story time. So this story took place like a week and a half ago ish, and like I said, it was the same day that we took Ezra to go meet Santa Claus for the first time for Vlogmas, right? You guys could watch that vlog. You guys could see everything that happened the morning of. You know, we wake up early, we get the boys ready, you know, Julian and Ezra, we get them in their Christmas sweaters or whatever, because they're both going to be taking pictures with Santa Claus. Get to the mall, and it's in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday, and the mall is packed. We spent like the first 10 minutes being there just looking for parking, okay? So we go into the mall. You guys, you know, can see everything that happened. Ezra and Julian go take pictures with Santa. So after the photos are taken with Santa Claus, this is where the story is taking place, okay? So we all decided to go ahead and take care of some of our errands and our Christmas shopping there at the mall while we were there, and just suck it up and go through the crowds and just do it, right? Now let's pause this story really fast, and I'm going to talk to you guys about my mom for a second. So if you guys don't know this already, Mama Glamour, my mom, she battled cancer for a good 5 years, a little over 5 years, and all that was going on, and my mom was receiving her treatment. She started noticing that about her hair, and you know, she's a woman, we all notice things about ourselves, and she noticed right away that her hair was thinning out, and so it made her want to hold on to her hair for dear life, right? So she refused to cut it. Well, fast forward a few years after the initial treatments, her hair started growing back in. Keep that in mind throughout this story. My mom, you know, like every other woman, is kind of emotionally attached to her hair, but even more so because of the experience that she had with cancer, right? She had been talking about it for months, you guys, that she was thinking about cutting her hair. Whenever she would have a bad hair day, or her hair was getting in the way or whatever, she would start in with, you know, I want a new haircut. I want to cut all my hair off. I'm tired of it. I don't even want to mess with it no more. Like, I'm ready or whatever. And she would never ever go through with it. She keeps going back and forth with this idea. Well, as of recently, she started getting really tired of her hair, and she was like, I mean it, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut it to like my bra strap or whatever. And I was like, yeah, okay, like I'll believe it when I see it. So that day when we were at the mall, after we went and took our photos with Santa Claus, you know, we're going to run our errands. I needed to stop at Sephora, right? So I was like, oh, you know, let's stop at Sephora, you know, get so-and-so's gift, and I need some foundation or whatever. And my mom, she just sat there, and out of nowhere she was like, okay, you go to Sephora, I'm gonna go get my hair cut. What you mean you're gonna go get your hair cut? Like, yes. She was like, I'm gonna cut it right now, because if I don't, I'm gonna chicken out. But like, I'm just so over it. I'm so tired of it. It's not even in a style or whatever, and I just want something new and fresh. I'm feeling this way right now, so I should go take care of it right now, because if I give myself any more time, I'll chicken out and not do it. You can sit there and make an appointment to get your hair cut off, okay, and like do a whole different style, but then that just gives you more time to think about it and contemplate, and then all of a sudden you're backing out and you don't have the guts to do it, okay? We go our separate ways. Myself, David, and Ezra, we go to Sephora. My mom, Julian, they go off to get my mom's haircut. If you guys watch the vlog, when I went to Sephora, I ran into so many glamazons, and we took pictures, and we talked about Christmas, and they met Ezra and they met David. Ezra got a little fussy, so you know, David and I went and sat by some escalators to kind of like give him a moment, and then I met some more glamazons out there. I can't even explain the feeling to you guys when you guys recognize me and just like come up to me and want to take pictures and just like are so excited to see me. I can't even explain it. So I'm like living my best life. It was straight up like I was having like a mini meet and greet at the mall because so many of you guys were there, right? So I text my mom and I'm like, hey, what salon are you at? Because there's like 2 or 3 of them inside of the mall. So the salon that my mom was at was like located in a far corner. It was like this part of the mall that was like, it had all the chairs and stuff out there for you to just kind of chill. David took a seat at one of those tables, you know, outside of the salon. And meanwhile, I go inside to go see how my mom's doing and go see how Julian's doing or whatever. So let me paint the picture. So I walk in, and there are literally 2 employees, 2 or 3. I want to say there was 1 at the cash register and then 1 on the floor, and then the guy that was doing my mom's hair, and then my mom was off to the right? Next to my mom in the chair was Julian, and he was sitting next to her and just like chilling out there while she got her hair cut. I go up, I say hi to Julian, and he decides that he wants to go out and sit with his dad, you know, outside of the salon with the boys. I take his place next to my mom. You guys, the minute I sat down, I felt uncomfortable, like immediately. For the time being, I will name him Al. Okay, we're gonna name him Al. This man is just talking my mom's ear off. Talking like a million miles a minute, okay? Now let me tell you a lot of something about Al. And the reason why I know a lot of something about Al was giving us all the tea about his life, including but not limited to domestic violence. He said that him and his girlfriend got caught hitting each other and pulling each other's hair. The police got called and she was taken to jail because she pulled his hair first. Drug activity that he was involved in. He started getting into like racial issues. He was telling us like some intimate things about his life, like financially what he was going through, his current living situation, like all kinds of stuff that you should not be conversing with your client about, you know what I'm saying? He wants to put some product in her hair, so he steps away from his station for like a minute to go get whatever he needed to put in my mom's hair before blow drying it, right? So while he left, I looked at my mom like, tell me what's going on, what's the tea? Like, I cannot be the only one seeing that this man is crazy. Guys, my mom looked at me and she was like, he cut my sideburns off. What? You guys, my mom, she went like this and lifted up her hair, and my mom's sideburns were gone. I told him that I wanted to cut my hair, and I told him what length I wanted it, that I wanted short layers, and that I wanted to clean up my sideburns. When you have curly or wavy hair, sometimes your sideburns can get really unruly. So my mom went in there and she was like, hey, you know, I want to cut my hair to this length. I want short layers. And can you just clean up my sideburns a little bit? He grabbed that thing, and it was like a shaver, right? Like one that you see dudes shaving their face with. He put that thing up to my skin and just droop and just shaved off all my sideburns. The minute he did that, my mom moved away. So like some of her sideburn was left, right? It was like, so I start freaking out and I tell him, no, what are you doing? I didn't want you to cut off my sideburns. I wanted you to clean them up. He was like, okay, well, let me just make this side even, because like I said, she had moved away really fast. So part of her sideburn was still left right here. So he was like, let me just like blend them out and make them even. So he comes around to this other side. Y'all, he puts those clippers up to my mom, zoop, takes off the other freaking sideburn. Y'all, her sideburns were cut all off, and on the right hand side, it was worse because not only did he cut like the sideburn, but he cut into her hairline. Because from the looks of it, it seems like, you know, he's cutting my hair just fine and layering it just fine. She was like, so maybe it was just an accident. It sucks and I can't wear my hair up for a while, but at least he's doing an okay job with the layers, and like, we're almost done, let's just get it over with, right? They finish. He's still just as inappropriate as he was before, and so my mom's just in a hurry to get up and get out. Where the boys were sitting out out front, you could literally see right into the front of the salon. In front was all glass, and then like right in the front was the cash registers. You could see and hear everything that's going on in that front area of the salon from seating area right outside, right? So my mom goes up to the cash register to pay, and while she's up there, I'm standing next to her, and I turn around to like check on the boys and to see, you know, what they're doing, because I know that they're starving. And when I looked out, I see a group of my glamazons coming this way, and like they see me, like they literally were looking right at me. I'm like, oh hey, and like I had told my mom that from the time that she and I split up until now, how many glamazons I had ran into. So when I like saw them, my mom looked over and she saw my glamazons too. Immediately felt her tense up. Girl, she was like, would you like to leave your hairstylist a tip? And my mom, she like kept looking back, and I could tell that she felt like she was in a hard spot. So I leaned over and I was like, Mom, why don't we just call back tomorrow and talk to a manager and tell them what was going on and what happened, and we'll get it all figured out, okay? Told my mom that, and I'll explain that to you guys in a little bit. So my mom, she goes ahead and pays, and then, you know, we get all the boys together, we get everything packed up, and we leave the mall. And we're all starving, we need dinner, like we've been at the mall all day while it was all crowded. And while we were in the car, you know, I talked to my mom very briefly while I was vlogging. We talked about it, you know, how my mom's sideburns got cut off, right? And while we were in the car, she was like, you know, I think he did a pretty okay job with the layering. Like, at least it was just the sideburns that went bad. Like, you know, they'll grow back, no big deal. So fast forward a few hours, and my mom decided to take a shower and blow dry her hair straight so that she could really see how her hair turned out. Guys, tell me why she went from her hair being past her butt, and now it's like literally like right here, like right past her shoulders. My mom was pissed, and I was like, what happened? I was like, I thought, you know, you said he did a good job with the layers. She goes, Nikki, no. She was like, I took a shower and I blow dried my hair straight. She goes, tell me why I turned around and legit like the back of my hair looked like this. She said, and half of my hair was blunt cut and the other half was point cut. The texture was different on both sides. The length was different on both sides. She said, I had to take my own shears. Side note, back in like the late 80s, my mom went to beauty school, so she knows the basics about cutting hair. She said by the time everything was said and done, for me to make it even again and the same on both sides, she was like, Nikki, I had to cut off an additional 1.5 inches of my hair to fix what he did. I felt so bad, because we all know that feeling, and if you have never experienced that, like, you're really, really lucky, because we all know the feeling of getting our hair done and then you walk out like heartbroken, not happy at all in the slightest, especially if something like that happens to where you can't put your hair up in a certain style without it looking terrible. You guys, that man, he didn't care. He did not even care that my 10-year-old son was sitting right there. He was talking about all his grown folk business in front of Julian. Fast forward to the next day, and my mom calls that salon and she speaks to a manager, and she was like, look, you know, this is what happened. I really tried to hold my temper, and I really just tried to handle the situation as calmly as I could. This is what happened. This is how my hair turned out. I have photos or whatever. I just wasn't happy with the service that I was provided. The girl that she spoke to told her that she was an interim manager, like she wasn't the permanent manager at that particular location. So she told her, you know, I'll go ahead and talk to the director or whatever, put in a request for a refund, let them know what happened and the service that my mom received, and that she would call my mom back the next day with an answer of whether or not my mom could at least get a refund, right? And then my mom got a voicemail from the manager stating that because my mom paid and she tipped, that they are not going to issue a refund, because my mom should have refused to pay and should have had another hairstylist look at her hair before leaving. Okay, so this is where the conversation is going to be had between all of us, okay? Because I'm pretty sure that some of my glamazons are either licensed hairstylists or are in school right now and are learning all of these techniques as well as customer service. So we're going to have a little bit of a discussion here. And you know, if you guys want to play devil's advocate, that's fine. I'm going to tell you guys where I was coming from and why I feel the way that I feel about this situation. You guys let me know how you would feel, how you would have handled it. The rest of the story is, they deny my mom a basic refund, okay? And I think in normal circumstances, that's completely understandable. If somebody leaves the place of business and they decide to pay and tip, well, then that means that they were happy with the services provided, right? Yes, okay. The circumstances and the events that were taking place around all of this were unordinary and unconventional, and that needs to be taken into consideration, in my opinion, because the reason why I made that decision was for the best interest of that business, okay? And so I called the manager, you know, to let her know what happened and the circumstances surrounding it, and the fact that I told my mom to make that decision. So here was my side. You know, I'm calling in behalf of my mother. She is the woman that got her sideburns all cut off. And that lady, for real, she was like, oh yeah, I know who that is. I was the one who called her. And I was like, okay, great. I said, I just needed a moment of your time. I was like, I need to explain to you the circumstances surrounding this entire situation so that you and I can have a better understanding. And hopefully we can come to an amicable resolution to this problem. So I told her, you know, what I did for a living. And I was like, you know, I know that it's really unorthodox. Straight up, I was like, I call them my glamazons. I was like, and I met a lot of them that day at the mall. I said, and they were running into me left and right. I said, and at that moment, when my mom was asked to pay for the services that she received, there was a group of young women standing right outside of your business watching everything that was going down. I said, and to my mom being in that situation, I said, yes, she could have refused to pay. I said, but that would have been bad for both parties. I said, so I told her to just go ahead and act normal and pay for the services, and that we would call you at a later date to get this situated, because I was concerned with how my glamazons would see your business, seeing how you guys let my mom walk out of the salon like that. When that happened with her sideburns, she was very vocal about it, that she was not happy about it. I said no one intervened, no one tried to make it right, no one gave her a discount, nobody came to look at the job that he was doing after the fact. I understand that it was my mom's job and my mom's place to refuse to pay. Also, it's embarrassing, I said, because then you have this group of people standing there. I said, and you want my mom to sit there and pull up her hair and embarrass herself and show all her crazy sideburns and, you know, be fighting and refusing to pay. I said, you know, I didn't want to put her in that situation. I didn't want your business to be looked at that way and be, you know, this whole debacle. She ended up coming out of there having to cut another 1.5 inches off of her hair to fix it on her own. With all that being said, I would really appreciate it if you guys would reconsider, you know, issuing my mom that refund, because, you know, not only did we walk away unhappy, but, you know, we did do our best to make sure that no negative light was shed onto your business over this one particular experience. You know, she played so dumb with me, and she was like, I don't know who left that message. Nobody told me that she wasn't going to get a refund. And I was like, well, I mean, we have the voicemail. So here's my question. Knowing the circumstances and knowing, you know, just imagine sitting there and your sideburns are all cut off and you're not sure about how you look and how you feel. You just got all your hair cut off. And then on top of that, your daughter does this for a living and has glamazons, you know, that are running into her at the mall, and they're standing literally feet away as this is happening. Do you do what my mom and I decided to do, which was hold it together, handle it, you know, in the privacy of our own home and calling the manager at a later date to rectify it? Or do you just go ahead, you know, cause the scene or refuse to pay, as they said, lifted up all your hair, showed your sideburns, let everybody see it, let everyone hear, let the whole thing just unfold and let all the tea be spilled? I just had such a hard time figuring out the best way to handle this situation, especially when you come across somebody as unprofessional as this guy Al was. And because my mom honestly had a lot to be pissed off about. At this point, we have yet to hear from the manager, from the director, from anybody. They're just avoiding calling us back. I don't know what they're going to decide, but in the interim, I just wanted to have this discussion because this happens a lot. Like where, you know, you go in as a woman and you go to get your hair done and you don't walk out even the least bit happy with your hair. what do you do? Now, in a normal circumstance, I believe my mom should have refused to pay and should have, like, you know, said what she needed to say, and I don't think she would have had any issue with that. In this circumstance where there are eyes and other potential customers that are standing right there, do you take that same route in rectifying the situation? Do you continue? Do you decide to just go ahead and refuse to pay, or do you try to keep it together for the sake of appearances for both yourself and the business? What you think, let me know. You guys already know where I stand, but I would love to hear you guys, you know, because all of us go through this shit. Like, how would you handle it? Like, in either scenario, how would you handle it? Let me know down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, please don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up to let me know. You guys already know we've been having so much fun on the family channel for Vlogmas this year, so if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely head over there, give it a try, watch 1 or 2, subscribe if you want to, hit that notification bell, okay? We're already over 60,000 subscribers over there, just saying. But before you do that, make sure you subscribe to this channel because you want to be one of my Glamazons. It's so much fun. We always have these discussions, so let me know your thoughts down below. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new story times, any new videos coming from little old me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Peace out.